Thank you, Angel Doll friends and family, for joining us. It's V, your friend, here to do another video for you. First, I want to apologize for the last video. We were doing part 4 of the 4 pieces of cast molding the Silicone Baby, creating the molds. And as we know, my videographer Peachy, it didn't work out all that well, bless her heart. However, we got a new video lady this time. We're not doing the 10-year-old. So yeah, it's hard when you're trying to do everything. But it's going to be better this time. We'll see. You'll see. But today, we're going to, not only did the molding video not finish properly, but even what I had, it wouldn't even load onto YouTube. But I'm not going to give up. I'm going to keep trying. So we'll hopefully get that done. If not, I'll just recreate a whole new one. So no worries. We will do the finishing portion of making a silicone mold for your silicone babies. Okay? And I don't need to reiterate the fact that if you're making molds of these babies, please make sure they're your original sculptures or people get really upset. So just don't do that. Okay? Anyway, so now, today, we are going to cast the silicone baby from our silicone molds. And I've gotten a lot of, people outreaching to me saying that they've tried their process of making their casting and it just didn't work. So I want to show you how I do it. And again, like everything else, is going to take time. You're going to have to practice. Is it expensive to practice? It is. That's why a lot of people don't do it. But if you don't want to try, no worries, just buy mine. Anyway, so right now today what we're going to do is I'm going to show you the casting of the Silicone Baby, which has a cloth body that we're working for the doll outlet in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. Come take a look. This is the baby that I sculpted. She is in that EcoFlex 30 that I'm going to show you, and she is painted. Right now I have not rooted her hair, but this is her head. And she does have her mouth open, which still needs to be painted. Okay? And those pieces over to our right are all of her pieces. Let's zoom in on them, Jen, so people can see her pieces and her sculpture. This is the sculpture that I made. And as you see, this is her head. Now, the next video, like I said, we'll do a painting silicone and silicone paint on the next video. But right now, let's continue. Okay, so we have little Michael. Remember we made him? He's so cute. He's so posable. He got his little bottle. Now he has the hair rooting hair that I did on him. You can see his little hair. And we finished him. He was the mold we were making. And remember his little feet we were working on? We'll do that later. Anyway, I know you didn't want to see him. You can always see him on my website, www.theangeldollcompany.com. And you can get these little people. He has the glass eyes. We got Abigail. She's super cute. She too opens her mouth. And she has the cloth body. You say hi, Abigail. Hello. She's so cute. I love Abigail. She's precious. Okay, enough of those. All right, so we're back. I'm back. Okay, we have the mold. Let's just go over the things you're going to need right now in this video. Let's do that. You got the mold. These are the molds that we created out of the sculptures. We got the Vaseline. We're going to need that because we're going to need to make sure that the silicone that I'm going to pour into this to make the actual doll does not stick to the silicone on this mold. As we know, silicone loves silicone, but they will not if you do this correctly. Do not slather this stuff on really like a whole bunch, because then it's just going to be gooey. You don't want that. Just a nice thin layer. And I use my hands, as we all know that I don't mind using my hands. So here's my another leg. This is how it looks inside, if you can see. So it's not perfect, but it's workable. Here's my little face to that baby of that sculpture that I made. You can see inside there. Okay? Now this piece here, this is a 2-part that I made of that leg. And it opens up like this. You can see the toes and stuff in there. I didn't like it because you still got that seam over there on the edges. So I just decided, scrap this, and I redid it into a 1-part mold. And why do I call it a 1-part? Because there's only one piece to this, and that'll be my seam. Okay? All right, so I got my Vaseline for making sure it doesn't stick. I got my placemats to make sure that I secure it. These are the same ones that I use for the molding. Okay? I got my measuring container, my paints, my stir sticks, and I like to have a lot of paper towels on hand. Okay? I also have my brush that I dip in my Vaseline just to make sure I reach those little things like toes and fingers deep down inside, just to double check, because you don't want to get those little pieces stuck in there. Keep that on hand, my scissors on hand, my paints. Vacuum chamber. This is the thing that I was talking about in the last video, because you can't really do this without it, or you're going to get a lot of holes or like bubbles. So you have to be able to pull that air out of the silicone. Silicone loves air, especially when you have to stir the part A and the part B. You need it to pull the air out, or you're going to get, it's going to be all fuzzy and bubbly. This is the vacuum chamber. This is a vacuum pump. It's heavy. Now I have a 6 CFM, which is the pressure of pulling the air. I've heard people can do it with a 3. It all depends on the preference of the person. I happen to always go extremes with things, so I figure more better, but everybody's different. These vacuum pumps, you do have to change the oil in them, make sure they don't get frozen. I mean, it can be, yeah, but don't worry about it. Just try it. Don't worry about it. Here's your gauge. My gauge happens to be broken, but after you do it a while, you know, like, okay, there's enough air pull, and I'm going to show you that. My paints are here. I keep toothpicks around on hand as well to make sure that I get to stir, and I get to change the color in the silicone to make sure it's what I want. I got my browns, my flesh tones, whites, reds. Sometimes I even may add a yellow. And you can see each doll is different. And once you put the paint in, it gets to be a little, like a little mixology going. Super cute. And I got my Chinese sticks for my stirring. Okay, so that is all that I use for casting at this point with my tape, because I'm going to use it to secure. And in the next video, part 2, my videographer, Jen, she's going to just video me doing the process. I'm going to try to talk you through it. I hope this helps. Let's get started.